Hello, NBA fans, and today is Spurs-Nuggets Game 7, and here will be my guide to Game 7. So obviously I want to preview the first 6 games of the series. I'll give you the series averages for both sides, and a couple more fun facts, what could happen, just a quick little guide to the biggest game of the season for both teams. As a Spurs fan, the biggest game of the season for me, clearly. So let's get into it. Game 1 was a 101-96 win for my Spurs. DeRozan dropped 18 points, but mostly inefficient in his shooting. Derek White came along with 16 points. That was his, not really the breakout game, but you start to see how good he could be. Some flashes of potential, that dunk over Millsap, that steal to win the game. Obviously, this game, Nuggets team were inefficient all night long. First game of the series didn't mean too much. My Spurs were able to steal it, mostly due to some heroics between White and Forbes was big time too. He scored 15 points. That's what happened in Game 1. Game 2, 114-105, a loss for my Spurs, a win for the Nuggets. Jamal Murray was a big storyline in this game. My Spurs were able to dominate the first 3 quarters, had 2 19-point leads, and I think they were up 10-ish going into the 4th quarter when Jamal Murray went off, dropped 21 in the 4th, 24 for the game. He went nuclear supernova and basically saved their season at that point. You can start to see some grit and toughness from Murray and from those Nuggets. And DeRozan had a bounce back from his Game 1. From his inefficient shooting, he scored 31 in Game 2. But either way, 1-1 going back to San Antonio. It's Game 3. And it's a 118-108 win for the Spurs. This is Derek White's breakout game. He scores 36 points. First half was close. Second half, my Spurs were able to take advantage. And Derek White dropped 26 first half, 10 in the second half. DeRozan had 19 in the 3rd quarter. And they were able to break away in the 4th and win by 10 points in the end. And Jokic having a good season, had a very good season, and is having a very good series, had 22 in that game. Now Game 4, San Antonio. This one turned out to be a 117-103 win for the Nuggets, so it's 2-2 now. Jokic was huge this game, 29 points. Murray put in 24. So Nuggets played very well. It was the first game where they decided to bench Will Barton and bring in Torrey Craig. That changed everything. My Spurs came out with basically no effort for since quarter 1 they played well, had a 10-point lead. Quarter 2, 3, and 4 were bad. Absolutely no effort. Nuggets won pretty comfortably in San Antonio. Now Game 5, it was a 108-90 win for the Nuggets. And again, Spurs played very well in the first quarter, and Nuggets broke away, dominated for 3 quarters. Jamal Murray put in 23 points, and DeRozan 17 for the Spurs, but didn't really mean much in the loss. And now, so it's 3-2 for Denver. They came back from down 2-1. You can see them come back from 2 19-point leads in Game 2. And now it's Game 6. Season on the line, my Spurs came out strong with a 120-103 win. They played very well, shot very efficiently. Aldridge scored 26, DeRozan dropped 25. And Jokic has his best game of his career, probably with 43 points. Was big time. But the big reason why Spurs won this game, they played very well. Their stars were sensational. 20 points for Rudy Gay. And the game plan here was they were able give Jokic whatever he wanted, dropped 43, but keep everyone else in check. He had 9 assists, which is still really good. But they weren't like big time assists. They were just like, how should I say this? They weren't as impactful as they usually are because of how well my Spurs played on offense. And then, so yeah, it's 3-3 heading back to San Antonio. Heading back to Denver, Game 7. Everything on the line. Basically, let's go through the Spurs wins. Game 1 didn't mean too much, but big game for White and Forbes. you can show that they can win in Denver with that Game 1 victory. Game 3 was Derek White's breakout game. He was unstoppable. DeRozan played well in the second half, asserted himself. And the Game 6 win just came out firing. Overall, good defense. Jokic went off, but that's what they wanted. They didn't want the other role players to go off, basically. So they wanted... I think that game, they were like, if we're going to lose, let's let Jokic beat us. We can't let Jamal Murray or Malik Beasley or whoever else beat us. Now for the Nuggets, the Game 2 win was getting dominated basically for 3 quarters. Jamal Murray went nuclear. Pop was given a tech for trying to call a timeout. Swung the momentum of this game. And Nuggets escaped with a 9-point win. Jamal Murray huge in that game. Now Game 4 win, Spurs came out with no energy. Jokic and Murray both played very well. And they get that big time win in San Antonio, which really shifted this series. Although starting Torrey Craig was big, he played very well. Has played very well for 3 straight games. And then they win Game 5, basically dominate for 3 quarters. Murray played well. Jokic was good, but not great. He didn't need to be great that game because of how well his supporting cast were playing. Because they made a lot of shots that game. Now it's 3-3, Game 7, everything on the line. So I'll go into the averages for the series later. But I'll go into my keys for the game and who's playing in the Game 7. So players who play in Game 7 in this series, there's 3 for San Antonio. DeMar DeRozan, whose record is 2-1 in playoff games. Patty Mills, and Marco Bellinelli. So I love that DeRozan has some experience here, and he's played... I read this article, he's played very well in 2 out of those 3 games. The first Game 7 he played, he was still very young. I think it was his first playoff run. And he still put up like 18, maybe 20 points. But he put up 30 apiece, maybe even 33 in his last one, and those are 2 Game 7s. And he's played very solid, played very well. I trust him with my life. Marco and Patty having some experience is nice, but I don't know what they can do with it. And for the Nuggets, they got Paul Millsap and Isaiah Thomas, but he's out of the rotation. He doesn't matter. He's a non-factor. Millsap, he's played well. Let's see what he can do. And now my averages for the playoffs. I should do that right now. So I did the starting 5 and a 6-man for both squads. I'll start with my Spurs. And it's my thoughts on them. So Derek White, and 28 minutes per game, he's averaged 17 points and 3 assists. So Derek White started off really hot in the first 3 games, has cooled off a bit, but still is the most impactful, most important player for my Spurs. And he's only playing 28 minutes, so he'll probably bump that up to maybe a 34 minutes, maybe 35. It depends how his foul trouble goes. Because if he gets in foul trouble early, which has happened a lot during this season, he has to clear that up in the offseason. But I think he'll get at least 30 minutes, probably more. Now, Brandon Forbes averaging 29 minutes per game. He's got 9 points and shooting 44% from 3. He, too, has been steady, consistent all season long, all series long. 9 points is solid. 44% from 3 is good, not great. But he's made a lot of big ones. Game 1, he was huge. He's been a bit up and down, but mostly steady. And I think he'll get about 30 minutes as well. DeRozan in 35 minutes per game, putting up 23 points, 4 assists, and 7 rebounds. So his assist numbers are down from the regular season, but his points are up by, I think, 2 or 3, so a little better there. 7 rebounds, I think that's also better than his season average. So he's played better, done a little bit more hero ball, but he's been very steady. Easily your best player. He's been sensational all season, all series long. I'm trusting him here. And he should get around 40 minutes per game. 40 minutes this game, maybe 38. But he should get a lot of minutes. Now LaMarcus Aldridge in 34 minutes per game, he's putting up 23 points, 9 rebounds, and 1 block. The numbers say he's been playing well, but a lot of those, he has been unable to score when they really, really need it. Except for Game 6 where he was unstoppable. Game 2 he was good as well, even though that they resulted in a loss. Aldridge has been playing better in the losses than in the wins. I need to see another Game 6-esque performance from him. I need 25 points, maybe at least, for us to win this game. Jakob Poeltl, he's putting in 27 minutes per game, 8 points, 8 rebounds, 1 block. The numbers don't do him justice. He's been one of the best players in this series. And his defense on Jokic has been really, really good. You know, Jokic is just unstoppable. But he's been making it at least hard for him to score, even though he did put up 43 in his last game, in Game 6. It resulted in a Spurs win. He's done a very good job playing him one-on-one. 8 points is solid. 8 rebounds, so getting those boards. He's averaging 4 fouls per game, so that's a big storyline for me. Because he's played very well. And if he gets foul trouble early, he can't guard Jokic one-on-one, which is what I want. Then it'd be tough for us to win this game if he gets into foul trouble early. And then Rudy Gay, our 6th man, in 24 minutes per game, he's averaging 10 points, 7 rebounds, and actually 50% from 3. That's really good in this series. But Rudy Gay, he played very well in Game 1, stunk it up for 4 straight games, and played very well in Game 6, putting up 19 points. I need to see a 15-ish performance from him, but we'll see how that goes. Because he's really our 4th best player in my eyes, but still very important, leads that bench, and he's got to be huge for us to win this game. Now for the Denver Nuggets, Jamal Murray in 33 minutes per game, putting up 18 points and 4 assists. So very solid, but I thought he'd average more points. I thought he'd be around 22, maybe 21. But I mean, it's still 18 points, still very good. But I think he's got to be really good to great in this game for him to win. They need 25-ish from him, I believe. He needs some big impact. He'll play more than 33 minutes, I guarantee that. He'll go around 38, maybe 40. We'll see what he can do in his first Game 7, because he's been shaky. He's a streaky shooter. We saw what he did in Game 2, but we also see what he's done in games like Game 3, where he doesn't show up as well as he should. So we'll see if the pressure will get to him or whatever happens here. And Torrey Craig, 21 minutes per game, 7.6 rebounds, and he's shooting a sensational 63% from 3. And really, I put him in for his defense. He's done a good job on on White and DeRozan. And with Will Barton not playing well, they decided to start him. And right now, the record with him starting is 2-1. Let's see if they can make it 3-1. But we'll see how that one goes. He's played very well. He should get 28-ish minutes per game, I believe. I think his minutes have upticked as he's begun to start now, but I'm not sure how that will go down. Gary Harris in 33 minutes per game, putting out 15 points and 4 rebounds. Gary Harris, I didn't notice he was playing this well, because 15 points from probably your 3rd best player is pretty good. But we'll see. He's been steady all series long. If he has a big game, that'll be tough for my Spurs to win this. And he should get around 36 minutes per game. And then Millsap in 30 minutes per game, 12 points, 4 rebounds, and 51% from the field. So he's shot really well. Maybe he needs to shoot a little bit more. Could probably put in 16 points. We'll see if he has a big game. He too has played very well in this series. He's surprised me by how well he's played, because I thought he was a bit washed up, but he's played very well. And he'll be big for the Nuggets with that playoff experience. And he has played in Game 7s before. Now in 36 minutes, Nikola Jokic has put up 24 points per game, 9 assists, 12 rebounds. So nearly triple-double, 1 assist away from averaging triple-double. He's been sensational. But again, we'll see what the game plan is. If they decide to go to try to try to make Jokic beat them and no one else. Try not to get the shooters hot at home. Now, there's 6 men. I have Malik Beasley because how much he's lit up my Spurs. But in 23 minutes, he's averaging 10 points per game, 2 assists, and 55% from 3. So he's a bit of a streaky shooter, but if he gets hot, he can go nuclear as well, like Jamal Murray. Although maybe to a lesser degree, but he can come up big. So they got a lot of big-time role players who they step up. It'll be tough for my Spurs to win this. But now for my keys to the game, as I go into this bench topic, the bench play. My Spurs bench has been outplayed basically for 4 out of 6 games. When the 2 games where they did outplay the Denver bench, they've gotten those 2 wins in Game 1 and Game 6. The biggest reason for that is Rudy Gay, who put up 14 in Game 1 and 19 in Game 2, basically in Game 6, basically outplayed the Denver bench by himself. We need a similar performance from him. Then you got Marco and Mills, who both played in Game 7s, and they need to be big time as well. For the Nuggets side, they got Beasley, Barton, Plumlee. Who am I missing? Oh, there's one other guy who's really good that I'm blanking on right now. But their bench gets hot. It'll be tough for them to win. And they got home court advantage, which is also huge. Your role players usually play better at home, but the pressure, will that get to them? And that's another thing I'm saying here, readiness. In games 4 and 5, my Spurs were not ready. Denver wasn't ready in Game 1. And readiness has been huge. We got Pop on our side due to the Spurs. They got Mike Malone due to Nuggets, his first Game 7 coaching. And with the pressure really on Denver, because they're supposed to win this game at home. The pressure mostly on them. Spurs are playing with house money, basically. As a 7th seed, they're not even supposed to be here. So really, a lot of this is on the Nuggets. They got a lot of pressure on them. Will Mike Malone get these guys ready? I think he will. But will the pressure get to them? Will the role players step up when they need them to? We shall see. And going to the head coaching, in-game adjustments, that will be huge. It depends how Jokic is playing, how they decide to play him, how the role players play for Denver. That'll be huge if DeRozan's going off. We'll try to lock him down. Will Denver? But will that allow some opportunities for Derek White or LaMarcus Aldridge or Rudy Gay or Forbes, whoever? Some role player gets hot like Marco Mills with that playoff experience. In-game adjustments, how to play someone how they should. Will it change things up? I do not know. So that'll be tough. I think Pop is obviously the chess master in this situation with Mike Malone, relatively newcomer, but he's been very good this series. We'll see what he'll do to do some in-game adjustments, which I think will be huge. Now, 3-point shooting. Basically, when the Nuggets get hot from 3, when they hit 15, 14 threes, it'll be really tough for my Spurs to win this. And that's how I'm saying the bench players get hot. Malik Beasley gets hot. Once their bench gets hot from 3, it's going to be really tough. But if they play like they did in Game 6, trying to lock down those shooters, making Jokic beat them, they will have a chance. And then the Derek White-Jamal Murray matchup. In the first 3 games, basically how these two played, if Derek White outplayed Murray, Spurs win, Murray outplayed White, Nuggets win. That has changed a lot in these past couple of games. But they're probably the 2 most important players for both squads. Whoever plays better, whoever outplays the other has a good chance to win this game. And then the stars. So I was thinking about this. DeRozan. I trust DeRozan. He's playing Game 7 before. He played very well in Game 6. As I said, he's averaging 23 points per game. But this is why the Spurs decided to go with an experienced vet rather than the exciting young player when they traded Kawhi Leonard away. For this moment, they traded for a star, and stars in Game 7, you gotta shine bright. DeRozan, Aldridge, you gotta shine bright. Derek White, you gotta show up, play well. In your first Game 7, too. It's Aldridge's first Game 7, actually. So I don't know if the pressure will get to him. He's been up and down, but still averaging 23 a game, 9 rebounds. And then on the opposite side, it's Jokic and Murray. Still very young, but both played very well. Jokic really steady. Jamal has been really good at times, up and down. Has Murray streaky shooter. Biggest team in the season. If they go blow for blow, which I believe they will, I'll go to the stars to really be the difference in this game. In crunch time, who's gonna step up is what I'm saying here. My money would be on DeRozan. He's been there, done that. But Jokic is clearly the best player on the team. I mean, the best player in the series. The way he's played. But that's all I got for today. This is your guide to games. Well, my guide to Game 7 for the fans, for my Spurs fans, for Nuggets fans out there, or just a regular casual NBA fan. So obviously, thank you for watching. Love the support. I'll say it one more time. Go Spurs, go. I believe in y'all. And thank you for watching.